Hello, YouTubers. I'm Angela Logan, and this is Everyday Shenanigans. It is Sunday, October 27th, 2019. I'm bringing you a story deriving out of Texas. There was a shooting in Texas, and it reads as follows. A manhunt is underway for a gunman who opened fire at an off-campus party near Greenville, Texas. 2 died, 14 were sent to area hospitals. Witnesses are not talking. Hunt County Sheriff Randy Meeks says he's appalled that no one has given an adequate description of the gunman due to the fact that they had so many people attending this party. No solid suspect is rendered at the time. Goodfellas is a group consisting of some Texas A&M University Commerce students, and they're the ones who were sponsoring the party. Okay, but it was not a college. It was not a Texas A&M University sanctioned party. So it was some people they were a part of a group some were students of the university, and they sponsored the party at this facility. Okay. Of the 12 that were shot, the rest were cut trying to escape out of the windows to get to safety. Okay, 4 or 5 of those that were shot were actual university students. Excuse me. Okay. Gunshots rang out about 11:45 p.m., 12:45 Eastern Time at the party venue off of Highway 380. Greenville is a city of 27,000 people, and it is 50 miles northeast of Dallas. And this is where the event took place that had the shooting. Chaos erupted, of course, with all the people running amok trying to get to safety, and the deputies tried to locate the shooter. But imagine so many people in this facility, they had a hard time trying to find who the shooter was. Now, at 12:10 p.m., deputies reported multiple victims. No suspect, no motive. They believe that the suspect came through the back door and was there before the original complaint came in to the police department. So there was an unrelated complaint which led the deputies there to the scene in the first place. Now, they believe there was a first victim that was targeted, and then somehow the gunman randomly started shooting people at the venue. They interviewed 20 people, but no one could give a credible description of the gunman. And there was no surveillance cameras at this party or at this building where the party took place. The FBI and the Texas Rangers are investigating, and bad situation. A very, very bad situation. They had one security guard working for all these people that they had there. And like they said, the gunman could accomplish what he wanted due to the fact that there were so many people in this facility. And with with just the one guard in place, there's just no way he could have had control over all the people that were there. And so you're counting at least 750 people, they're stating, was at this venue. 90% were teens, early 20s, and they are urging the parents of these teenagers to talk to their children about coming forward if they have any information to this shooting. Authorities first responded to the complaints about vehicles parked along the highway, says Chief Deputy Buddy Oxford. Okay, and then 15 minutes later, after they arrived to this venue, that's when the shooting started. So, Texas A&M University gave a statement. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims, families, and friends, and of those affected by this morning's shooting. So imagine 750 people at a venue. Then the cops come for some unrelated shooting. And then the guy is obviously in the room with the authorities and he starts shooting. And like they said, they think he entered through the back door. Now, why someone would enter through a back door? That's odd. So I don't know if maybe they were targeting someone who worked there or not. I mean, like I said, you don't have any information, they don't have a motive, but it just seemed odd to me that they assumed that the person came through the back door. It's also odd that the original complaint was of um, cars being parked along the highway. Now, I noticed when I watched a video earlier this morning, that is what I saw. I saw like a metal frame type building. And then I saw just a lot of cars lined up on the side of the road. So I said to myself, I said, this looks like a highway. And so obviously it was. It was a building that housed this party. And it's, as I say, off the beaten path. And kind of makes you wonder if maybe it was deliberate. Someone was agitated or they just made it up. Hey, woo, I got a problem or this is that. And then when they came, now all of a sudden you've got shooting plus deputies on the scene. That's why I really find it peculiar is that there were deputies there for a complaint about the cars being parked on the highway, and then all of a sudden 15 minutes later you've got an active shooter inside of the same building. I guess one would have to ask herself, this place looks as if it was in the middle of nowhere, so in your mind you're thinking, who would be complaining about the cars on the side of the highway? I don't know. Very weird, sketchy story. Like so many stories I bring you guys, but I'm praying for those victims. I hope everyone is okay. My prayers and condolences to the two who lost their lives in this shooting. I can't even imagine the chaos that had to ensue with that many people in a building. When you start talking 750, I mean, if you said 300, you're pushing it when there's madness, okay? Utter madness. And so I can't even imagine what it would have been like to be in the room. The fact there were no cameras, one bodyguard. Oh, and they also had a police officer working from a neighboring city. So it's kind of like, how in the world could you have had basically one cop working and one security guy working? And then the cops show up there for some unrelated situation, which, they didn't verify that in the article. And then all of a sudden, 15 minutes later, a gunman who's already in the room, I'm assuming, or he, as they said, came in through the back. It's crazy. And another crazy thing is the off-duty police officer, he was working the front door. So he didn't even see the shooter at all. So maybe the shooter did come through the back door. And then the off-duty police officer, his eye is toward the front of the building, looking, naturally watching the people come into the facility. So he doesn't see what's going on behind him. I mean, you talk about utter madness. This is utter madness. And what I think is sad is that every time you turn around, you keep hearing these horrible stories of people being shot in, these random shootings, mass shootings or whatever. And then you start wondering, well, what was the problem? What was wrong with the person? What's wrong with them? And it's like, this gets so old of trying to figure out what is wrong with somebody, why this person has so many problems, and then they decide to take it out on innocent people because they're having a bad day or they got mad at somebody. So now I'm going to shoot and kill everybody in the room, everybody in the vicinity. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. And as you see, this is a common thing with these shootings. No matter if it's a vendetta against one person, two others have to take the fall with whomever the gunman has an attitude, problem, or issue with. So as I said, my prayers and condolences to the victims' families and friends. I feel so terrible because, something else I left out. This was the university's homecoming. This Texas A&M Commerce University's homecoming. So I guess these certain group of people, threw a party at this venue, and look what happened. Kids trying to have a good time, enjoy themselves, college students, whatever, young, trying to live. And this is what happens when you're trying to live. There's like, I'm serious, it's like there's no hope. And it's so sad. So very sad. So much for a homecoming, huh? But know that this party was not sanctioned by the university. So it was a private group that threw the party at this venue off of Highway 380 near Greenville. So that is my update on that story. Well, bringing you the first part of that story. I will definitely bring you an update to any information that is revealed about a suspect or the situation of the students and people who were shot. And like I said, prayers to them. And you all have a wonderful week. Thanks for listening, watching, sharing. Thanks for my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. I really do. And I thank you all so very much for tuning in. You guys have a great week. And please be safe out there and be mindful of your and our children in the community. Know that there's no harm in speaking up for the safety of our children. Know this. We need those kids, and they need us. Bye-bye.